Welcome back to PresCo. I'm the business pres, and we're looking at the daily trend. And let's get straight into it, guys. We've got a nice episode for you today. We're going to look at a few different things. Oh, get rid of me so we can actually have a look at them. First off, we're going to start with the Bitcoin dominance, then we're going to go through my watch list and see where everything is, especially after this big impulsive move that we've just had. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. We're going to be in the US dollar pair today instead of the Australian dollar. And really it doesn't matter because I go off the levels, I go off the structure, I go off the patterns. I don't really go off price, just how I do things. So if you like what you're about to see, smash the like button. Let's heat it up. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so the Bitcoin dominance. First of all, the Bitcoin dominance. This is giving me a little bit of warning, right? Because when the Bitcoin dominance rises, that means one coin to rule them all. It's actually gaining strength. But looking at this, right, we're at resistance. We're at the 200-day moving average, okay? Printing divergence in the RSI, which tells me if we don't break out here, if we form a top, then this is going to come down. And when it comes down, altcoins really explode. And when we break this level, I'm going to be screaming altcoin season because it's going to be what we've all been waiting for, in my opinion. It's going to be huge. Okay, so that's just real quick on the dominance chart. We're looking at Bitcoin, all right? This is the downtrend. We've broken out resistance quite clearly. Okay, we can even make that really tight. We've evidently broken out of resistance. And now, what kind of structure are we making, all right? So if we just clear up, first of all, this red bar, okay, that was our resistance. Okay, this white line, the 50 moving average, that is also a resistance. Okay, so let me just clear the drawings for a sec so we can get a nice clear picture of what's going on. Now we come up, we broke the 50, made a clear candle close, okay, it was above these levels, and then we started printing some indecisive doji candles and an inverse hammer. Usually this means the uptrend is at least going to consolidate, okay, because on the other side when we get a hammer candle or two, it means we're going up. Pretty much all of these are hammer candles, okay. Then we had the bit of a correction, signal for everyone to get in, and then we pumped quite massively. So the question is this the pullback? Or are we going to come up a little bit and then pull back a bit deeper? Okay, on the daily, it's not really giving me too much. Okay, it's just telling me consolidation. So if we zoom into the 4 hour, read what it says. It's interesting. It's interesting, and here's why. This Jupiter pendulum, okay? I'm on Discord with the currency nomad, and he's been teaching me some stuff. We've got a strategy worked out, okay? So when this RSI hits the green bar, okay, at the 75 level, it's adjusted, okay, we are tagged green. We are bullish. And when we pull back, okay, this is the consolidation of the bullish impulse, this one here. When we pull back to this green box, as you can see back here, and we push up, look at the kind of price action we have. So it's telling me Bitcoin is likely forming a bottom right here on the 200 4-hour moving average. Now if we zoom back out to the daily, this is key. Do you know why? Because this yellow line is actually the white line. White line is the 50 moving average, which represents the middle of the RSI. So if we're above that, we're bullish, and if we're below that, we're bearish. Right now we're holding on to it. Okay, on the RSI we're above it, and on the price action we're slightly below it, but on the 4 hour, if we're going to bottom out here, we will get above it. Right now we're above both EMAs. We're in the buy zone, we're printing bullish divergence, so it's very, very interesting. We may or may not get it. We may get a pump a little bit, test these previous highs, and then come back down again. Again, more consolidation, because it hasn't really pulled back too much. It hasn't pulled back too much, but it doesn't have to. In a strong trend, we can target the 30, the 50, or the 618. As you can see, it's on the 30, so if we break up from here, it's going to be no surprise. But I'm just a bit cautious that we're going to consolidate that bit deeper. We may or we may not. We'll just have to see how it reacts over the next day or so. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. That's the leader of the market. That's why we watch this. Bitcoin dominance. One coin to rule them all. Like if this wants to break up and continue the uptrend, higher high, higher low, or higher high. If we make a higher low, yeah, altcoins might see a little bit of a rally, but then they'll sell off because people are taking profits, putting them back into Bitcoin. Okay, that's why we watch these charts. So it's interesting. Even if Bitcoin wants to continue an uptrend, altcoins might consolidate a little bit more. And I'm looking at Ethereum. Ethereum's had a bit more of a decent pullback. This on the daily as well. We can see it's only come back to the 382. It's wicked on that. So if it's going to hold here, if it's going to form a bottom, I'm sure some of you can already see what's going on. Maybe not that one. Okay, I'm looking at along here. Okay, we're under it. But what are we forming under it, right? We're forming an inverse head and shoulders. And this is actually bullish. Okay, if we can hold this right shoulder, then this is the perfect entry to get in before we break the neckline and form an uptrend. That is likely. It's very likely to happen, especially after consolidating for this long, which is 97 days. That's a while. It's usually a pretty decent correction, and a 55% pullback, 50% pullback. That is also a decent correction. So with Ethereum, it gained strength. It formed this bottom after the crash, the triple bottom after the everything crash, pumped up pretty fast, pulled back a little bit, and then we established higher highs. Yeah, we double topped on higher highs, but we just consolidated. And after a while, the bears gain momentum, everything smashes down, but now the bears have taken profits. Okay, the short sellers have taken their profits. They're willing to stuff their pockets full of coins and potentially buy Ethereum instead of selling it. So Ethereum's interesting too, because in the RSI, we've well and truly broken out of this downtrend. We've come up, retested it, and if we form a higher low in the RSI, that's going to be awesome. So Ethereum does have about 20% wiggle room, because if it forms a low around these levels, that's still good. That means we get a double bottom. But obviously a head and shoulders will mean less pain. Alright, so we get that 10% pullback, 30% from the neckline, and that just means you can buy cheaper Ethereum. But if we break this zone and turn it red, then unfortunately it's bear market continuation, and we'll have to look out for the next opportunity, because we did tag red, which means we are looking for shorts. And when we pull back to the red zone, the short zone, that's the other side of the pendulum. With Bitcoin, I showed you the bullish side, but with Ethereum, we're still going to anticipate some kind of bearishness, unless we're going to break out, form a higher high, in which case we'll see it. Okay, so there's the two situations with Ethereum. And Ethereum is the next coin to rule them all. So if Ethereum breaks out, altcoins are going to break out. Ethereum leads the altcoin market. And XRP, man. XRP. It's just absolutely dominant. Let me shut them up. XRP, my baby. First of all, we had a massive bullish run. Okay? 47%. That was juicy. We wicked on the 200-day moving average and we pulled back. Okay, 15%. But what happened? We immediately got a bullish engulfing candle. Alright? And I bought here at this level on Bybit. And I'm sitting in some juicy profits. And I'm seeing the same thing for other coins. It's like we are holding this bottom. But the question is, are we going to hold the bottom and just push up a little bit? Or are we going to hold the bottom and break the high and continue the uptrend? That is the interesting question. You see my entry is down here. on an area of value, and we found bullish divergence. Okay, even though we tagged red, this is only the 1 hour. Like we tagged red, we pulled back to the sell zone, but there was no short there. There was no short there, like 5% maybe. But we just had this massive move up. It's interesting, and look, you can already see we've come down and we're looking to push up again. So if we break this high just here on XRP, that's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. It looks like we're going to do it as well. And if we look at Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, Ethereum's not looking too strong. It's not looking too strong. In actual fact, it's looking like it's at resistance. But if we look at XRP compared to Bitcoin, oh my goodness, XRP just looks so strong. It looks so strong. We nearly tagged green here on the daily. We did not tag red. And the MACD pushed up and we're in bullish territory. Okay? We're in bullish territory. When the MACD crosses up, that's a good sign. But until we're above the zero line, it really doesn't mean anything. See, back here it crossed up, but it didn't really do much until we got above the neutral zone. We're well above the neutral zone. Okay, it looks like we found support. We're going to continue an uptrend. It's down here, we broke the downtrend, now we're going sideways. So we could just enter a range, but with the way XRP is looking, I think we're going to break out of this range. And guys, if you like what you've seen so far, please smash the like button. Let me know if you like the quality of this content. If you want me to talk about anything else, always keen. Working on my Discord, so as soon as that's ready, you guys can join and look at how I'm making nearly every move. And we'll quickly just go through the rest of this watch list. I don't want to make this video too long. So altcoins are pretty much all doing the same thing. Okay, XLM, same thing. We broke up, we pulled back, we're finding an area of value, the 618, okay, that Fibonacci. But if we double bottom here, XLM is on, man. It's on. It's another fundamental coin that I'm heavily involved in. And there's just nothing but bullishness coming into the future. We just got to navigate through the short term. Okay, VeChain similar. Okay, kind of broke out, following this downtrend now. We haven't made a higher high, but if we make a higher low, that's bullish. That's bullish. Okay, Songbird, unfortunately, it's just bearish. It is one of those inflationary coins that people just want to sell because there's more benefits to selling. I'm actually staking it, so I get more Songbird every single day, but I'm not liking this massive downtrend as much as the next person. But we could be forming a bottom. If we double bottom here, we don't tag red, we could move on to tag green. Even if we do that, we could take out these highs and we could establish an uptrend. If the rest of the market does that, I would expect Songbird to do it too. Okay, I'm staking one heavily with Jewel. It's a fantastic project, the DeFi Kingdoms. It's my most watched video so far, and it was actually really poor quality, so I'll probably make a new one soon. But this is tag green. We've got a double top, and we've got the pullback like we're talking about. This was a deep pullback. This is what I'm worried with Bitcoin. It hasn't pulled back as deep. It's about the 382, which means we could see that next leg down. But at the same time, Bitcoin's gaining dominance, which means altcoins are going to have all these down extra pullbacks, and Bitcoin's just going to hold strong because people are cashing profits into Bitcoin. It's a little bit tricky, but look, Bitcoin's the one ring to rule them all. Okay, so one is interesting. We're printing a bit of bullish divergence on the 4 hour. Let's have a look on the daily. Okay, yeah, with tag green, we're in the pull zone, with the buy zone, the pullback zone, the buy zone. Okay, when we get here, we see what happens next. We didn't tag green last time, but we haven't tagged red either. Okay. In terms of an uptrend, cup and handle, and we just topped out and we're pulling back. We're finding a higher macro low. This is very important. This is how cycles work. Okay, cycles are weekly, big moves, and then the daily trend looks at the difference between the cycle and the short term. And on the short term, we look like we could be getting a bottom as well, especially after taking green. Okay, ADA Cardano, or I might actually get involved here. That's looking good to me. That's looking very good. Okay, but resistance is always going to be there. This is the 4 hour. Let's have a look at the daily. This is the daily trend after all. And look, we've got this massive divergence. Guys, I've been holding on to ADA for the longest time. It's a great project. It still has nothing out yet, but I've been holding ADA since down here, since like 15 cents, you know, so I've made my money and I've lost it too because haven't been the best trader up until this point, but I've been holding it in since kind of this bottom. I thought we had that one more low, we broke out, but it was a false breakout and we just smashed down. I've sold a little bit, but not too much, and I am very much looking to get back in here, especially with this kind of divergence. Okay, we're making higher lows in the RSI and we're flattening out on the price. Okay, depending on how we want to draw this trendline resistance, it is a bit tricky. We're still not in the clear yet. Still not in the clear yet. So we've got quite a lot of resistance, but where the RSI is could show us quite the push. Quite the push. Okay, H bar, very similar. We got a double bottom here. Okay, we're pulling back to about the 50. Okay, and the double bottom shows me the strength because on the RSI we're getting bullish divergence. Okay, there's the first low, and the next low is a higher low on the RSI, and on price it's a higher high. If you watch the last videos, you'll see the importance of that with Bitcoin and why it got such a massive move, because this is what long-term guys are looking for. This is what the smart money, the whales, they're looking for. This, the deviations at the bottom. Okay, look at what we got last time. We tagged green, we pulled back to the buy zone, and then we pushed up again. This is where the whales buy, because that's where the money is. That's where your double, nearly triple your money is. Okay, so if we're buying at these lows, it's risky because if we keep going down, we could lose a lot of money, a lot of purchasing power. But if we get the divergence and we push up, again, we can double our money here. It's very interesting, and that's just spot, no leverage. The interesting tool I've got for you before it gets too long, and I'll show you why. Look at IMX. Look at the divergence between this. If this bottom holds, okay, it's a higher low, especially after such a bullish impulse, we just got smashed by resistance. Look at it here, and it's so close to the 50. If we break up, look at this here. Literally the next candle, once we passed the 50, was huge. And I'm looking at this like, we're in resistance. Surely not, but then bang, 40% in one candle. It's not even from the lows. Alright, that's nearly 100% from the lows. And on leverage, if you're using 5x, that's a 500% gain. If you're 10x, 20x, you're a savage, but hey, I'm not there yet. Okay, IMX and Matic. Matic on the daily looks very interesting to me. Very, very interesting to me. Because we've broken this trend line. We have broken this trend line. We've retested it up here. But if the market's turning around, if the market's bullish, we're actually on support. And we printed this divergence here. And if we get a higher high, higher low, higher high, and this higher low forms, we could break out to get a higher high. And we're in the buy zone, we're right near the 50. And if we break out from here, we could break out above this high. Even if we get to it, that's a 20% gain. We get to the next high, that's a 40% gain. The next high after that, 70% gain. And this is how fast these coins can move. Back here, we've seen the peak, we've seen a long consolidation of about 45 days, and then a massive. So this is how quick these things can move, especially after a long consolidation. Because really, we've just been forming this massive cup handle. Okay, since the previous lows, we're forming this massive cup on the macro, remember, and handle. This is a chart pattern. I'll show you the significance of this when I can find my parallel channel. Okay, cup, handle. We've measured from the bottom of the cup to the top. Okay, let's make this orange because it's our target. And if we break out from here, even from the lows, we see we're making new all-time highs. And from here, that's a 100% move. Guys, from here we could double our money. And the risk is relatively low because our stop loss, you know, 25%, that's still huge, that's still hard to go through. Which is why we've got to get good at charting, reading these patterns, reading the indicators to tell us what's really going on. But kind of risk reward that is, even if we just target the previous top, which is fine. Still a 2-to-1 risk reward. Okay, you risk 30% to gain 60% with the potential of it going higher. And where we are right now, we can even have a tighter stop loss. Okay, because if we break these lows, then we're not looking good. Then it'll look like this bearishness will continue. It could, which is why the Jupiter pendulum measures the swings. If we tag green with bias, it's bullish. And we're looking for the pullbacks in the green zone because we're going to push up again. Okay, we skip the consolidation, we catch the impulse. Same with the bearish move. Bearish move is the impulse, and if we skip the consolidation and get in at this double top, then we get the impulse again. Okay, there's always resistance is going to hold until it doesn't. Support's going to hold until it doesn't. So everything's a risk to reward and probabilities. Actually, I'm not going to go through this. Maybe next video. But my trades that I'm in right now, I'm in XRP, like I said. I showed you that before. Okay, catch this bottom. I might look at bringing my stop loss up, but I'm going to watch it over the next few hours anyway. Matic, I got a position in. Okay, it looks like we're forming a bottom, we're getting divergence, but we're still under the 50. See here, we were double topped on the 50 and we made this massive impulse down. So I should have a tight stop loss, but I'm watching this. If we break out and above, then good, we might continue bullish. We'll just have to wait and see. And there's a couple other ones I'm trying to pick. Curve, yeah, we might. We'll just have to wait and see. That's right, OMX. Now, oh, juicy. So we've caught this on the IMX. Now I'm going to show you live action what it's like to scale into a position. If this is the bottom, we can move our stop loss to break even. But I'm going to put it just under this low, alright? And this juicy candle is above the 50. See, it was resistance, we broke it. We're not in the clear because the MACD is not above the 0, but if we keep going the way we are, we're probably going to come up to either this orange line, a 4% gain, or this blue line, a 10% gain. Alright, now I haven't got huge exposure here right now, and I'm 30% up. So I'm going to market order, I'm going to buy this, and look where it's going to send my average entry price into, right? And I'm willing to hold this. Because it's going in my direction. Okay, we can even zoom in a little bit and see if it's going to continue. Yes, it looks like it's going to continue at tag green, so even if it pulls back, we're not going to break this low structure. Okay, and that's what I'm going to be watching for. This is the short-term trades, and this is not the daily trend. This is trying to catch a move. Okay, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different ways you can play this game. And if you want to know how I'm playing it, then you'll join the Discord when it's all finished, and I'll put a link in the description below. Till then, feel free to look at my website, look at the macro targets and everything like that. And guys, if you like what you're seeing so far, if you appreciate the quality of this content, then smash the like button, share it, do us a favor, talk about it, tweet about it, whatever you want. Thanks for watching. I'm the Business Pres. See you in the next one.